Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another stream. Daytime stream, let's go. I've got energy, I'm hyped. It's not 12 a.m. I'm not like in the middle of passing out. We've got the music blasting, so this is how we're starting the stream. We got lots of energy coming into today. I'm reviewing this entire week's worth of trading. I'm going through every trade. We're breaking it down. We're looking at the results. So let's get it. We got no shirt on. Gains out in full blast today. Let's go! It's good. I don't usually wear a shirt at home, so I thought like I'm gonna keep things authentic. I'm not wearing a shirt. We're keeping things normal. Like I've got the music playing. This is how it usually goes. We got the music blasting. You know, just getting hyped. I just had the coffee. I'll probably need to get some water, but we're gonna sit here. We're gonna vibe for a little bit. I'm gonna share this stream out, and then let's see what happens. So sit back, vibe. It's gonna be a good stream. I think this is the link. I'm fine with it. My phone, my bro, but I sleep. I'm only here for the weekend. Alright. Alright, we're ready to start in a sec. Alright, link is out. Oh, here we go. Let's go. Alright, let's get to the charts. Took an L. This is what we're going through today. Right now, look, come on, don't even talk about shit because I know I come from the guns and shots to brother. Then I don't pop out and on this living like I was a baller. How can you hate me? I'm coming from all the sleep. What the fuck is a couple? And I pop out and bullets get rounds and stop tweaking. I already fucked us. I don't got bad, I know I done it all. I was serving the fiends, let his aim this out. If I got a problem, I'll make him one call. None of your niggas be sliding it out. If I got up and I'm packing that heat on the heat on the bitches when it's in the streets. Run to the paper like I'm in the mood, baby. Alright. Too much of the wonky be having me see, but too much of the press got me ready to freak. Grinding for months, I've been grinding for weeks. My homie told me to just watch for the week, cause they like to sneak. Gucci and Prada be having me dripping like I was a steam, man. What did you think? I'm trying to make it to put some BBs inside my Cuban link, man. Why do it stay? Call me been ringing in pounds of the stop, but I know that it weak. You niggas not straight. Alright, there's a little rundown on what the week was like. Alright, let's cut that out for a little bit and let's get to it. So, how was my week? It was a good trading week. I mean, money-wise, I took a loss of about 1.2% over the entire week, which is not too bad. But like I said in yesterday's stream, I guess I do care to some extent, but for the most part, what matters for me is how I perform in the long run. So I just started streaming this week, and I wanted this to be like a fresh start, I guess, like disregarding all my results, and we start like my official results with the live stream. So I guess this is the first week of my actual trading results, and I'm here to show you everything, the behind the scenes, the analysis beforehand, all that. If you are interested in seeing the actual lives played out, the actual trades played out live, then head into my channel, look at the live streams. I have, like, they're all there, they're all live. So pretty much we started off strong. We had a nice trade, a 2.8% trade to start the week off. The trade was executed, and take profit was hit within like 5 minutes. You can see that we're on the minute time frame here. We got one candle which tapped us into the entry, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 minutes, which is not bad. Now, this could have been a much better trade considering how generous my stop loss was. If I had just put my stop loss here, it would be a better trade. But this takes me to a good point about greed. If I was greedy, in this case, I was not. I could have put my stop loss just above these highs. as ICT teachers, we should be putting our stop loss above the candle with the fair value gap. But we also need to consider the fair value gaps above. So I did see there was another fair value gap above, so I just put my stop loss above that candle, just to take into account that price may rally and, you know, tap into this fair value gap before making its move to the downside. So overall, this was a good trade, good execution. The analysis was good. We can go back into it and see here. So my bias was short based on the daily. Now, the London highs were swept and it rebalanced a previous fair value gap in the previous day, which unfortunately I don't actually have drawn up here. That's something which I need to change with my journaling. I want to be able to show multiple time frames, multiple views, so we can essentially see the entire picture. So that's what I need to get better at. Also, you may notice I didn't take too many notes. That's not too good because now I don't have too much context as to why I entered the trades, although like I do because I was the one who took these trades, but I'm trying to explain these trades to you guys, whoever you may be. So it's not really the greatest thing. Maybe I should have taken some more time out before my trade just to be focused, to be a little bit calm, you know, do my little entry, do my analysis, talk about why. And I think that may give me a better idea as to like if the trade is a good trade to take or not. Now, in this situation, it's a bit hard to judge because I didn't do my analysis, so I have to rely on my memory from that night, which if you watch my lives is probably not great to rely on because I was so tired for the most part and my brain was not working at full capacity. It's not working like full performance exactly like it is right now. I'm sure you can tell there's a big difference between how I'm trading or sort of how I'm going live at the moment. It's currently 12:30 p.m. It's like midday. I'm pumped. You can tell I probably have a lot of energy right now, and it's true. I'm stoked to be like live, showing you guys the truth, the real trades. Like no one else really does this. I see a lot of people out there, and this is going to be a consistent rant I make on my lives because this is a strong reason as to why I started them. There's a lot of people showing this, showing that. They're saying this, they're saying that, but they're not showing us, like, what are you actually doing, bro? Like, yeah, I don't know. And I feel like if you want to be true, if you want to be transparent with your fans, with the people who follow you, the people who trust you, you need to be able to go in and show them what is actually happening. I have no, like, stress. Like if people want to see, you know, this crypto wallet address, of course I'm not going to put it out in public, but if you ask me, like, I'm happy to show you the transactions and I'm happy to verify these trades which I'm taking. Now, these were not verified on the blockchain because these trades were made on an exchange, like a centralized exchange on FTX, as you can see here, live account FTX BTC. Every trade here was taken on FTX, and every trade is a BTC trade. So that's essentially like what I'm focusing on. So let's get back to the matter at hand. We started off the week with a strong 2.8% trade. Now, as you can see, there we did skip 2 days. Now, it's a little bit weird because when I put the dates in, it's like Australian time. So it says here that I missed 2 days of trading, but it really wasn't. I only didn't trade on one of the days. So we copped a dub to start the week, and the next day I didn't actually take a trade because, you know, there was no setups. So on the third day we copped our first 2 L's. Now this is what happened. Essentially I marked out London highs and London lows because, not because, like you see this line here, this represents London high. Down here, this represents London low. Now, I'm wondering why the times look a little bit different here because that's not right. See, this is the thing. This is not London high and London low. So pretty much what I saw in this scenario was pretty much I did not see an original sweep of London highs or London lows, and this is something which is clearly stated in my trading plan. So over here, I don't know what you can see, but it says here, like, where are the London highs and lows, and look for the sweep. And then after the sweep, I want to look for where the engineered stops are. Based on those stops, I want to see the fair value gap get formed in the right place. Like, I'll go over that in more detail. I might make a separate stream going in depth with my trading plan, although I have explained it multiple times on my previous streams. So this scenario was a little bit different, so I guess I'm just gonna type that out on this one. So no sweep of London highs or lows, so traded based on what did I trade based on? So just looking at the chart here, essentially, like, I saw price melt down, price never retraced back in to the London range, and I saw this consolidation form, and I saw these swing highs get created. I saw a tap into the swing highs here. Now, this is a mistake now I've made twice, so I really need to be careful with this. We did see a break of these highs, suggesting to me that liquidity was going to be engineered to the downside. Now, this did happen, and from here, what my plan was, because we saw a shift in market structure after these buy stops were taken, I wanted to look for the fair value gap within this swing, within the premium market, since my bias was short and I'm looking short. So I marked it out. Here's my fair value gap. It is in the premium market, because if we draw a Fibonacci from this swing down to here, our equilibrium is about here. So anywhere above the 50% of that swing, like within that top 50% of the swing range, that is where my valid entries are. Now, you see I had a tap to the fair value gap here, entered, but because of slippage, this and that, I didn't get the perfect entry. Price did come up, and it was like $3 away or something from my stop loss. So that was scary. Price pulled back down into profits, where we were at roughly 1%. But I held because of these rejections, and I liked the way the setup was. Unfortunately, we came back and got stopped out. Why? I don't think that this pullback above these highs was a deep enough dig into the buy stops. I do think there were further buy stops resting ahead here. So this was on the 27th at roughly 9:45 a.m. New York time. So let's have a look at that. So where's the 27th here? See, I think this may not be correct. It says the 27th. I think it was the 26th. So we'll head over into the 26th. And I want to find where these trades happened. So around 9. Here we go. This is exactly where it happened. So let's reanalyze this from the start. So first, let's mark out the London highs and lows. So I want to find 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. So we got 2 a.m. here. London lows roughly here. So there's the London low. And then London high, I'm sure was somewhere. Yeah, here was a London high. So this is a situation I had not been faced with before. We have London high, London low, and then by the time we had like 8:30 open, and then we had 9:30 open, price had not been swept yet. Now, was I wrong to assume, like, let me see, right? Because essentially I just want to see where my trade was. So we'll let price play out for the rest of the day. I can see the swing came at 9:30. So maybe I was on the wrong side of the market, because as you see, 9:30 we had a long which took out London highs. Which gets me thinking, if we're taking out London highs here, there must have been some sort of buy stops engineered, which means there would have been some sort of sell stops being swept to start with. But for me, I was not aware of this, because I'm used to seeing London lows be swept before some sort of buy stops were engineered. So let's look into this with a little bit more detail. So I'm going to mark out the 12 a.m. open as I do. So 12 a.m. opened. We started with price taking out the previous day's lows. This is something I did not consider. Now, taking out these lows would have engineered buy stops above the last high, being here, right? So let me find a way to mark this out. I'm going to disregard London low, since we know London low was not swept. We sweep the previous day's swing lows, tapping into this fair value gap. This is what I'm seeing now, right? So this is like back testing. This is how I'm training my brain to go into the week and find the setups. So price essentially broke through the previous swings, which we saw towards the end of the day, tapping into this fair value gap and then blasting through and shifting market structure over here. What time did this occur? This all happened during London. This was all a London Sesh trade. London had pushed and created its high, and then by the time it finished, we had some sort of like sideways movement before we had the lows, some of the short-term lows swept. Now, this is where I got my trade idea from. Saw London highs, we saw these lows being swept, which told me buy stops being engineered here above these highs. So this is from my perspective on the day. Since London lows were not broken, I looked for market, just, what has market structure done? What has been formed? What's been broken? What can give me further clues as to where price can go? So since I had disregarded London lows being swept, since I had disregarded London highs being swept, I thought to myself, okay, where could we be going within this range? Since I saw the breakdown first within this London range, that had told me, okay, we want to go down, so we're going to trick retail first by giving them that break and giving them that retest. Now, I did assume and I did wait for price to come up and take buy stops before going down, and that's where I wanted to take my short. Now, as you can see, it was very obvious that I was stopped out because I was on the wrong side of the market, trying to go short, when what we had here was already this fair value gap being balanced. We already had these sell stops being swept, engineering the buy stops wherever that may be, maybe here. London, we had the push, but for me, I couldn't conceptualize the idea that we were going for longs because I had the short bias. Now, what gave me that idea for the short bias, I wonder? This is why it would have been good to have this written out. So if I go on to the 15-minute time frame, it's hard, right? Because my target is 16,600 or 17,600. And essentially what I saw was, because my bias is short and I saw price trading at such a heavy premium, I had looked to the left and had a look at, had we had any fair value gaps or stuff being balanced. But this is what gave me the idea. I saw these bunch of swing highs being stopped out, see here, and since these had been swept and a fair value gap being tapped into and balanced here, that's what gave me my idea for the shorts. Now, I was wrong. The reason for my trade being wrong was my bias. So I'm going to mark that here. No sweeps of London high or London low. Entered the trade the wrong bias. Assumed that the sweep of buy stops from the last 13 days and rebalancing of previous. So I assumed that because the buy stops were swept over the last 13 days and the rebalancing of that previous fair value gap, I thought that allowed us for shorts. Assume that assumed this would allow for clean shorts as there were no more premium arrays to target. So that's why I lost this trade, I guess. Mostly it's like the bias. But this is what I need to consider, because I know this is what ICT teachers looking for a sweep or like from the previous day. So since I had seen the sweep of this previous day, like I should have considered like the power of three. And this is where like I need to drill these concepts into my head a bit more. What does the power of three represent? I mean, it just says like we have oh look, I'm not gonna talk about it too much just because I don't understand the concept fully, and I feel like it would be wrong for me to try and explain it. But essentially what it is we have a fake out move, or we have some sort of consolidation first, we have a fake out, and then we have expansion. And this usually happens at the start of the day. We have the fake move, which is, for example, you can see here we made some sort of swing low, and that's saying like, okay, if we're going for swing lows to start the day, that's essentially setting up retail mindset, saying, look, we're going to start the day short, look for shorts. So I was looking for shorts, but not because of that reason, and that's what caught me on the wrong side of the market. So next time I will consider this. I will pay attention to the beginning of the day. Has a high or a low been swept? Actually, I'm going to write this down because I don't want to forget it. Swing low. Consider power of three. Alright, so real quick, what I'm doing at the moment is I'm back testing and I'm going through my old trades. Now, if you want to get good, you gotta like plan your trades. You gotta plan your trades. You gotta execute on them, which has been done. So I planned my trades on stream. I executed my trades on stream. Then after that, you want to go back and review the trades, which I'm doing on stream. Then you want to optimize, plan, execute, and it's a cycle. That's how I think you get better. So I'm going through my losses, and they're providing me with golden, like, yeah, I was going to say gold liquid, gold nuggets. It's providing me with very valuable information. I'm taking notes of this because this is how I'm going to optimize my trading plan for the week. So there's the first trade. I guess what we got out of this first loss is my bias was wrong, and I was not considering what happened at the start of the day. I did not consider that first move, which took out some sort of lows or highs. So let's keep this in mind going into the next trade. So that's why we lost this one. Also, let me just say, it took that long to go through one trade. And I think it is absolutely necessary for, if you want trying to improve with your trading, to put this much effort into your trades. Like, how else are you going to get better unless you go through your losses with this much detail? Like, have a look at it, try and figure out what you were thinking to start with, and then, yeah. So, does this chart look familiar? Have you been paying attention? I sure have. And also, this is the trades that I took. So this is the same chart. This was my second trade of the night. Because I was stopped out, I thought that maybe we're going for this fair value gap, which was the original one I was looking for. Also pay attention to these up closing candles. I do not want to say that this was a order block, but it kind of looks like it. The order block, this did not, I guess technically shifted market structure, but market structure was shifted up here already. I would say that this is the order block because it's the up closing candles which created the movement to the downside, which opened up the fair value gaps, and as I said, shifted market structure. This is, I would say, the more the order block I should have been like waiting for to trade off of. But again, it is not listed in my trading plan. This is just information floating around my head from other videos I've seen from ICT. Will I go back through and review order blocks or other methods of his? No, I just don't think it's necessary because I learned from the 2022 model, and pretty much everything I need to know to trade that model is in there. I'm not going to be greedy and go look for more information because I took a few L's. No, that's not how it works here. So yeah, I tried to take this other trade, but again, I was stopped out. Why? my bias was wrong. Why? Well, remember on the previous on that day we had taken out those shorts before going long. My bias was just wrong in general. I was looking for shorts when I really should not have been looking for shorts. So I'll do this. This is a follow-up trade on previous. That's all we really need to know. Wrong bias. Still. I'm going to check the comments real quick because I'm not actually too sure if anyone's even watching, but it doesn't matter if people were like watching or not. I'm just curious. Like, I do want to check the comments because if people are asking me questions and I'm blatantly like ignoring, then that's not too good. I disconnect myself. Let's just pull into here real quick. Don't think I can view any of that. There's no chat, so I'm assuming no one's on, but that's okay. So let's go on to the next one. What happened here? So what day was this on? This was on the 27th, 10 a.m. Let's have a look. So 27th. Where's my replay tool? So there's the 27th. How did it play out? So this day obviously was a very bearish day. Also, pay attention to what happened to start the day. I spotted it immediately. To start the day, the previous day's swing highs were taken out. Buy stops were taken. Engineering sell stops. So, see, the dates are weird. Like it says 27th, but these are on the 26th. I will need to chase up on that. So this is what happened. I'm going to try and look for the trade which I took. It's at 24.50. And this trade was a short. 24.50. So started the day. We'll go into like 9 something. 24.50. So wait, when did it happen? Just before 10. So it was 10 a.m. Somewhere there. 20. Where was the 24.50? So it looks like we got in right at the bottom. Maybe. Let's have a further inspection to price action. This is on the 3-minute. Yeah, this. Let's have a look. I'm going to mark out London highs and lows, as I usually do. So 2 a.m. there. So London highs. And then London lows was 5. Boom. So here was London lows, essentially. Okay, so let's consider this first. What was I thinking? I saw London lows broken first, and then I thought, okay, London lows were broken, so now I want to see some kind of sweep to the upside, taking out buy stops, which we saw with this wick here, and I think this was the 8:30 wick exactly. Yes, that exact 8:30 wick. News comes out at 8:30. Price had pushed above these previous swing highs. Looks like we balanced. No, this fair value gap was already balanced. From there, I was obviously looking for some sort of shorts. So a push down which broke or shifted market structure, and I wanted to grab a pullback into the fair value gap. Now, I see this. I'm just going to mark this as retail resistance. And I want to understand my entry a bit more because it's still not making too much sense. 20450 was not my entry. My entry was 25.6 essentially. So we'll bring it back up a little bit. Something there. Let's go on to the 1 minute and see why. Now this is slightly confusing to me because it doesn't look like it matches my plan. 652. Okay, so this is probably where I was stopped out on the 3 minute. Yep, that looks correct. Yep, there is that. Doop, boop. Wanted to go into the fair value gap here. Okay, just want to make sure my entry is correct before I analyze this. 2592. 2592. That looks a bit better. That looks a bit better. So I use this swing because this is a swing like after we had sweep the highs, we had price come down, shift market structure, opened up the fair value gap. As you can see, I am staying very consistent with this trading, and this was the premium market above here, so I waited for price to come to this fair value gap, but not just the fair value gap. I wanted it to come into the premium market before entering my short. Now, as soon as that happened, price came back, rallied, and tapped back into retail resistance. Now, it was confusing because it looks like it did set up some nice buy stops which never came to be swept or swept. So this is a bit confusing for me because I did expect price to be swept. Now, now I need to go back through and understand why was this not being swept. Is it because this was the intermediate term high, which is the swing high, which balances the fair value gap? I did mention that in my stream. If we do have that, more than likely price will not break through. You can see clearly with these taps here, nothing closed really above or through this order block. We had some price consolidation until we came back up, sweeped these two highs. I wonder if there was a rebalance in here. There was, because have a look at this. Look where price came up to before its melt. So look at where it flew through this fair value gap, which is lined up with this order block. Now, why do I think this is an order block? Because it is the upward moving candles which started the downwards move, which shifted market structure and opened up the fair value gap. The exact fair value gap which we should have used to take the trade. So, another point, do I need to consider the order block? Consider order block. So this may refine my fair value gap. So not only now am I going to look for fair value gaps in a premium market when going short, I'm going to need to look for the fair value gap which lines up with an order block in the premium market to go short. Do you see how I'm building my confluences? Do you see how I'm using data on my based on my losses to refine my trading plan, to optimize it? And once I have optimized it, guess what I'm doing over the weekend? I'm going back through the charts and back testing or forward testing using this new improved trading plan and see how it works. Is it good? Is it a good fit? Should I actually optimize my trading plan, and should I continue using this going forward? So I got two very important points so far. My bias was correct. I was looking for shorts. And then the next one was off. Because pretty much I thought that we were going to sweep these highs. Like I just mentioned, they were looking very suspect to me. I saw price pull down into this fair value gap and I decided to go long. There's my mistake. I did not follow my bias, my overall daily bias. My overall bias is short, so taking longs is counter trend trading, and that's not a part of my plan. I'm not trying to counter trend trade, so I'm gonna put it here. Essentially wrong fair value gap, and then here counter trend wrong. Fair value gap. Consider the order block. Okay, now I'm gonna do some. I'm just trying to think of like notes I should put. Okay, after this week, I'm gonna put notes here. So I'm gonna say power of 3, and then I'm gonna say consider order block. Those are the two things which I feel like I should focus on with my forward testing and with my testing going into the weekend, because it looks like that is kind of power of 3 bias. So that's going to help me determine my bias. Consider order block. That's going to help me refine my entry. So those are the two things which after looking at these trades, these are the things which held me back. So my bias and my entry. My entry could be a bit better. Actually, I'm curious. Let's go into the first trade and have a look at where price pulled into. Would you say this is the order block? Because this is the upwards closing candle, which closed, shifting, sorry, not closed. This is the upwards moving candle, or even this area, these ones here. The upwards closing candles, which shifted market structure and opened up the fair value gap. Now, this fair value gap is actually within the order block. See how this trade played out? See how it wasn't intentional, but I picked up on this pattern? You got to be very analytical. We got to be able to recognize these sort of patterns. I'm going to go into another rant. This is the kind of work that is required to get good at trading. How many of you take trades, you lose, you win, whatever, and then you keep going without actually looking at trades? Be honest. Like, I don't think many people are actually doing this seriously, and if they do, then they are for a little bit and they stop. I'm not trying to preach that I'm the GOAT or anything. The reason why I'm saying this is because I did this too. Let me show you. Like, look, I was very consistent with my back testing from the 19th to the 24th of September, but it's been nearly a month since I've done any back testing. Where's the consistency in that? I'm just trying to be real with you. Look at the consistency with my notes. I didn't take notes every single time. Sometimes there's a reason for it. Sometimes there's not. I definitely could have been taking notes here. Same with my forward testing. Look, I stopped my forward testing at the beginning of the month, and I had no reason to, other than being lazy. I feel like now, like, after every trading week, it's good to go through results like I did now, right here. Have a look through it, go through every single trade like I did, and figure out what's going wrong. If I had not done this, I would not have figured out that my trading can be improved with a better bias, better entries. And I figured out how to improve my bias, how to improve my entries. So yeah, that's my little rant, I guess. I'm gonna delete everything here. We're starting off with a fresh chart. Let's go into the weekly and assess what is actually happening. I'm still bearish. Why? Because look at the amount of buy stops we have here, all resting under sell stops are resting underneath there. This entire week I had kept this idea in mind, and that is my bias. It's going short, but I was looking for some kind of premium array as a target to be hit before going to the downside. That is the reason why I took the short yesterday, because I've been stopped out of short. Sorry, the long. I've been stopped out of shorts. I don't know why my back is so itchy. One sec. That's not good. I think I got a rash or something. I don't know if you guys can like see that, but it's red and it's itchy and it's kind of bothering me. Yeah, that doesn't look too good. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, quick flex. Might need to give my chair a little wash today, to be honest. Maybe I'll put on a dirty t-shirt today. I don't know. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, my bias does still remain short for that given reason. I just don't see why price will pull up. So I don't see why this is a reversal. I do think people think this is the bottom and they think this is the reversal, and for that specific reason I am going short, because I know most people are wrong. Let's go into the daily. It looks here that this was the fair value gap that we were really looking to have balanced, but whereabouts in that fair value gap? So we've already run these highs. These highs were run. engineering sell stops at the downside. Now, this is on the daily time frame, so this is a much larger perspective. I'm so itchy. What is going on, bro? Like my lats and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go have a shower after this. I'm gonna wrap it up because it's really annoying me. Essentially, I've seen price rally through those highs, those buy stops, tapping into that daily fair value gap. Now I'm gonna go into the 4-hour time frame, just to have a little bit of look. So we tapped into here. Let's go into the smaller time frame, 1 hour. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna draw a horizontal line at this high and see where it pulled up to. Pulled up to here. Didn't tap into this fair value gap. Not this one. But do we want to see a tap into this big one? See, there's just so much space. I don't know where price could pull up into. And that makes it hard, because then it's like, okay, my bias may be correct, but I don't know how far up price can go before going down. Is this the right thing I should be looking for? Okay, I think what I'm going to have to do is just... I mean, at this point, I'm not trading for the rest of the weekend anyway. So what I want to see, I guess, is price make some sort of very strong bullish movements throughout the weekend. And then on Monday, hopefully, I've got some nice shorts to take. I am hoping that I can still take shorts from, you know, anywhere above here. Let's go into the weekly. Let's see where price is trading at in regards to, like, a weekly perspective. So we'll get the fib. This is the range. There. So we are currently trading at a premium for the week after breaking these swing highs, tapping into the fair value gap. So I am expecting price to return to a discount. Had these lows taken out. Okay, so I guess my idea at the moment, even though I won't trade it, is this. I'm looking for something like that. I'm going to keep this on the chart and see what happens, like, tomorrow. Oh, not tomorrow, like, tonight. But I don't think I'm going to be doing too much live streaming because I'm not going to be trading. I guess the only kind of content I'll be putting out this weekend is my back testing and my forward testing and stuff of that nature. So I guess that wraps up my, weekly review. I'm going to leave it here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This was very, very useful for me, and I hope I shared the message. Like, it's so important to go through your losses and analyze everything extremely critically and take your notes, revise your trading plan, optimize it, test it, and see what happens. I'm going to leave it there. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys.